A man stands on the prow of his ship. His name is Thors. Behind him on the deck, his 6-year-old son is hidden under a tarp. In the next 90 seconds, Thors is about to give up the rest of his life, on purpose, in front of that son. This is the art of giving up a future you won't live to see. The version of quitting nobody warns you about. The only one that actually costs you something. Not the "I quit my job to follow my dreams" version. Not the brave kind. The kind where you can already see the date. The date your old life catches you. The date the house you built becomes someone else's. The date your kids start telling stories about you in past tense while you're still in the room. You don't quit those things. You stay in them, knowing. Most content about giving up makes it sound brave. Sure. Thors has been doing this for 15 years already. In 90 seconds, he'll do it for the last time. And you probably know exactly what this feels like. So who is this man, and why is he making this choice? Rewind 15 years. Iceland, a farm. A ferocious warrior called the Troll of Jom, feared across the North Sea, fakes his death in battle, and walks out of the war. He marries Helga, raises sheep, raises Thorfinn, learns the names of the seasons in his own house. This is the part of the story most retellings linger on. The pacifist, the redemption arc, the killer who put down the sword. But that's not what he did. He didn't put down the sword, he hid it. There is a difference, and his entire life is structured around it. Every morning for 15 years, he wakes up knowing the Jomsvikings will come for him eventually. Knowing his old life will find his new one. Knowing the day Floki shows up at his door, the small civilization he built, the wife who calls him by name, the daughter who teases him, the son who climbs onto his knee, collapses on a calendar he can already see. And he stays anyway. You think people who walk away clean. They don't. They walk away knowing exactly what's coming and roughly how long they have. A man stands on the prow of his ship, back on the deck. Askeladd, the man in front of him, runs a band of mercenaries, vicious, pragmatic, has 30 crewmen on Thors' ship boxed in. Sailors, oarsmen, men Thors trained. Askeladd makes the offer. He'll let the crew live if Thors fights him, alone. No weapons. You'd think this is the part where we learn something profound about masculinity. It isn't. Thors steps onto the boarding plank, walks across barehanded. What happens next, almost no one talks about. He wins. He locks Askeladd in a hold the man can't escape. Could break his neck like dry wood. Askeladd has all of it. Cunning, armor, reputation. For one full second, none of it matters. He's completely available to die. Thors lets him go. He says, "A true warrior doesn't need a sword." This is the line everyone remembers. It's also a half-truth. He didn't release Askeladd because he was too pure to kill. He killed for 15 years before this. He released him because he was already in the middle of giving up everything he was. And a man at the end of that process has no use for one more body. The sentence isn't immoral. It's a status report. Decision theorists have a name for what Thors is doing here. The poker champion turned author Annie Duke spent a decade making the case in book after book, knowing when to walk away from a hand you're winning. Her argument cuts against everything Western culture tells you. The people who finish first are not the ones who refuse to fold. They're the ones who fold the most. That's strategy talk. But strip it down to what it actually means. The people who get somewhere in life are not the ones who refuse to give up. They're the ones who give up the right things, on the right timeline, knowing exactly what they're paying. Thors paid the bill in the same minute, all at once, on a deck he chose. He gave up Askeladd's death. He gave up his own life. He gave up watching Thorfinn turn 7. The arrow comes from the cliffs. He doesn't even see it. He falls into the sea. 6-year-old boy on the deck. A man stands on the prow of his ship. Except he doesn't anymore. The prow is empty. But here's where the story breaks open. Because Thorfinn, the boy on the deck, saw all of it and understood none of it. He spends the next 15 years trying to win the duel his father lost. Wait, his father didn't lose. He spends the next 15 years trying to win the duel his father refused. And there's no version of that fight you can win by fighting it. Every retelling of this story spends its first half on Thors' pacifism and its second half on Thorfinn's revenge arc. The story everyone misses is the gap, the 15 years where the lesson is being held by a child who is too small for it. That gap is the story. You know it. You had a parent who tried to teach you something they couldn't watch you misunderstand. You had a teacher who said something to you in a sentence you would not be able to translate until 20 years later. They didn't get to be there for the moment you got it. That is the second thing Thors gave up, not just his life. The moment his life was supposed to make sense to the person it was for. The hardest thing you'll ever give up isn't your dream. It's the person who would have been there to see it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Between battles in the longest war Rome ever fought, that you should live as if on a mountain," meaning you'll never finish what you came here to do, and most of the people who would understand it will not be there at the end. The Stoics had a discipline for this. They called it praemeditatio malorum, the meditation on future loss. Sit with it. Name what you're giving up. Pre-mourn it. Not because it makes the loss smaller, but because it stops you pretending you're not already paying for it. Marcus wrote his meditations in private notebooks his son was never going to read. He knew. He kept writing anyway. You have a list, things you started for someone, and that they will not be alive or available or willing to be there for when you finish them. You know the list. You've been keeping it. A man stands on the prow of his ship. The arrow is already in the air. His son is already going to misunderstand him for the next 15 years. He stays. That is the art. It's not the giving up. It's the naming, in advance, of what you'll never see. Whose story is the gap in your life?